What's up guys, James Blonde here with MMOHuts.com, this time with a first look on Forza Motorsport 6 Apex. Long name, I know, from Turn 10 Studios. This is an all-out racing simulator experience with tons of cars, 6 real-world tracks with rain and nighttime racing, and typically something you'd only find on consoles until now. This is the first version of the game made for PC. It's available free to play with a couple of catches that we'll get into later. The game is currently in development, open beta. The developers are definitely looking for feedback on this, so with that said, let's get into it. Alright, so like I said, this is more of a racing simulator, not an arcade-style racer. Way different than Need for Speed Most Wanted, more like Project Cars, I would say. But like all good simulators, this Forza game has a crap ton of assists and tweaks that you can use to fit form the racing experience to your liking. You've got 5 different preset driving difficulties for how the game assists your driving. That's not even including the difficulty settings for any of the AI racers you're up against. So on an easy difficulty game mode, you've got a full suggestion line that shows you when to accelerate and when to brake. Now the braking and steering itself in this case is assisted, so when you approach a corner, the system automatically applies the brakes and steers for you accordingly so you can make the turn. Kind of like autopilot, I would say. Only slightly more than what Tesla's autopilot offers its real-world cars. With easy and all the way up to hard difficulty, the damage, fuel, and tire wear is all just cosmetic, so, you know, go ahead, slam into the wall going 120 miles an hour. You'll survive it. It's kind of fun. Once you get up to professional and veteran presets, you're working with little to no assists, so no suggestion lines for turns, no traction and stability control, manual shifting only. You'll be working with the real deal. Plus, you can adjust the assist individually to cater to your liking, but you'll notice using the more difficult settings and driving with less assists gives you an overall bonus percentage to your RP, which are the points you're rewarded for performing well in the race and completing objectives while racing, which will let you earn medals, and these medals get you access to the cars in the game. So, with the assists, you've got a setting for, wow, this car pretty much drives itself, to, I thought I knew how to drive, but apparently not, and now I'm going to die. In other words, the game is really easy for new players to pick up, yet offers a majority of the simulation aspects fans of the genre are looking for. I found myself right at home on hard mode, in case you're wondering. And if that isn't enough, besides the driving assist, you can tune the settings for your tires, gearing, alignment, and all kinds of details. So the nice thing there is that they've catered to the hardcore fans and haven't removed the advanced mechanics just because the more casual crowd more than likely won't even mess with them. So the game offers several game modes to choose from, the main one being the Tour, which consists of 12 different races in various conditions, like nighttime racing, which is a lot harder than I expected, Lamborghini and Ferrari racing with slow traffic involved in order to try to catch up and pass your rival car, supercar racing, I guess that's really the best way to explain it, and one of the really unique ones that's Top Gear inspired, you've got truck bowling with a Ford Raptor, one of my favorite trucks. Each one of these races has you achieve specific objectives, like get first place or third place or better. You've got a certain number of good passes you have to hit a certain score while bowling in this example, or hit a certain time in a single lap. You've got to hit a main objective in order to proceed to the next race in the Tour, and like I mentioned earlier, you earn RP based on your race performance, and you gain medals for achieving objectives and performing well overall. So, the more RP you earn, the more medals you're likely to get, which will unlock cars for you to use in multiple Tour playthroughs, or even the free play game mode, which is always fun. You can set up your own races that way. One thing I can say about the Tour is that it introduces you to some truly badass and very iconic cars through info videos before the race that are narrated by automotive celebrities like James May and Richard Hammond and some of the guys from Top Gear that you watch on TV maybe.
In fact, it's pretty much like normal bowling, but without the slippery floor and ugly shoes. We've positioned some bowling pins around the Top Gear track.
This definitely adds a professional AAA touch to a free-to-play game and is always welcomed, in my opinion. Plus, most of the game itself is narrated, so all of the intro stuff to the menus that you go through and overviews to the track that you're about to race on all have narrated descriptions.
Your next race will be at Rio de Janeiro, a course that opens up to mountain views and tricky elevation changes.
Cool stuff. So there are over 60 different cars to drive in the game, with more to be added, I'm sure. Also very happy that they have my car in the game, the Volkswagen Golf R. Okay, so I don't exactly have a Golf R, but I do drive a red 2015 Golf, and I've got to say, they've nailed the interior design on it perfectly, all the way down to the buttons on the steering wheel, the radio, and the interface between the gauges. I've got to say, it feels eerily familiar racing in this car since I'm very used to my own interior surroundings. Every single car feels completely different and very unique from the other, and what's more is each car performs differently in various weather conditions and tracks. In the raining conditions, the tracks have water spots on them, so you do have to worry about hydroplaning or sliding around on acceleration, and I feel like as far as the simulator goes, they got this down really nice. I don't feel that I've played a simulator game that has that much attention to detail when it comes to the elements on the track and the surroundings. The game mentions that during nighttime races, the track actually grips differently due to the sun not baking the asphalt, so the super fast cars don't actually grip the track as well. Normally they would spin their wheels so the rubber gets, sticky and they can grip the track, and they can't do that at night. This is definitely one of the hardest races in the tour for me, but then again, I've only got through about half of the tour so far. Now on that note, if you haven't noticed already, the visuals in the game are pretty impressive overall. The rain looks really sick, and even in the beta, the game supports 4K at 60 frames. It recommends a GTX 980 Ti in order to run at those specs, but even 1080p looks absolutely fantastic on 1080p. If you want to see what it looks like in 4K, you're going to want to check out the trailer in 4K. Nothing so far for triple monitor or widescreen setups just yet. It is beta, so it is specifically 16:9 resolution so far. Now, I did say earlier there were a couple of catches to the game. The first one being that it doesn't have any steering wheel support currently. However, the developers have stated that it is a thing, and it will be coming to the beta sometime before the official launch. But with that said, please do yourself a favor, and if you do plan on trying this game out, do so with an Xbox One controller. Specifically, the game feels amazing on it. I was honestly very impressed. The feedback is perfect. You can feel the tires slip underneath you as your finger is on the trigger. I don't know how they got that right, but they've got the vibrations in the controls down perfectly. It works so well with the Xbox One controller, probably because the game originally was made on the Xbox One platform, so it makes sense. So as much as you might want to play with a racing wheel, and I definitely feel your pain there, right now, the Xbox One controller is better than you might think it is. Otherwise, I wouldn't even try this game on the mouse and keyboard. I don't even know how that works, so I don't even think it should be an option. The second catch in the game is it isn't multiplayer. Instead, you're racing against Drivatars, which sounds kind of funny, which are cloud-based AI opponents copied from your friends in the Xbox One community in Forza Motorsports. So instead of a fixed AI, the servers learn how players drive in the game and creates a random Drivatar for various levels of difficulties to represent that player's driving style over time in braking, turning, acceleration, and collision avoidance. So it's kind of impressive how they have made the other drivers that you're racing against actually seem like you're racing other players, because you kind of are, just not live, and it's more like an average summary of that player's performance. Now, I can say the other part of that is multiplayer isn't something they plan on adding to the game, not even in the future. It's not planned, so although there's still plenty of stuff they do plan on adding to the beta, it's not one of them. Besides, if there was live multiplayer, you wouldn't be able to do this. Let's go ahead and do that again. Nope. Always nice to have a rewind button in the racing game. So the other way the community is involved in the game is all of the custom paint jobs that you see for the cars that you can select from before the races. Most, if not all of these, look absolutely badass. They've added in a selection of designs from the Forza painting community to the car select flow, and once you've selected one, it stays set at that for a little while. You can check it out in your home view, which is an absolutely beautiful menu system, so you can get a nice look at it that way until you change it, of course. So each car has about 10 different paint options to choose from, and they don't cost you a thing in order to use, which is really nice. So you're probably wondering, well, this game is free to play, so what is it that I'm paying for? Well, seeing that the game isn't multiplayer, you can actually pay to unlock different cars faster. So, as you can see here, you can pay 99 cents in order to unlock this car early, rather than obtaining the medal count required to unlock it through playing. So yeah, you can unlock every car in the game just by playing through the tour, earning medals. And I can honestly say, the game isn't difficult enough so that it feels like you're forced to pay money to unlock cars early instead of just playing to get them that way. So in this case, I kind of feel like it would be good just to give the devs a couple of bucks here and there in order to support the game, and at the same time make it a little quicker for you to race the car that you like. And with that said, I gained 20 medals after completing 10 of the 12 tour races, and I've unlocked about 50% of the cars that way alone. So you can kind of see that the progression is rather balanced. And keep in mind, taking away and adjusting the assist will help you gain the RP, which is translated into medals, so that equals more cars for you. It also looks like they plan to have a marketplace in the menu, but for now that's grayed out, so I'm not exactly sure what they plan to put here, but I do know they plan to have DLC that you can buy, like tracks, things like that, probably exclusive cars when it comes down to it, like maybe themed events like, I don't know, Fast and the Furious 19, whatever it may be on. But anyway, guys, I figured I'd literally and figuratively change the pace and cover a racing game, seeing that I've been asked recently what's a good racing MMO, or what's the word on World of Speed. Well, for now, this is what I have to offer you, and it's totally worth it. This is literally the first racing game more on the simulation side that I've enjoyed playing for more than just a couple of races, so it's normally not my thing, but this one is. I think it's the fact that you have so much control adjusting your car when it comes to assists and things like that than you're used to in other games, and, you know, maybe it also has to do with the fact that the game is free to play, so it gets me to try it. Bottom line, as far as racing games go, I definitely give it a thumbs up in my opinion, but there's still one more catch that is probably going to make or break this game for a lot of you guys, and that's the fact that it's a Windows 10 exclusive. They broke the mold of taking the series from the console over to PC, but the catch is that it's Windows 10. Sorry guys. Mainly because it syncs with the Xbox One community, I suppose. So if you can get past that and you're looking for a fun racing game to feed your hunger for speed, this could be the one. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Head over to the game profile at MMOHuts.com for more information on the game. But until next time, guys, that's going to be it from me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.